Welcome traders to analysis of gold XAU USD. Thanks for joining me in this analysis. If you haven't actually been following my analysis, go and check it out because that will give you a fair amount of idea what we have been looking at and why. But just to revise very quickly, what we can see here is that market has created this structure. There is an impulse here, then we have correction, and then market is trying to create an impulse. So far it has not been able to do so because the market has created this W structure. One was completing around here and that's why it fell. There is another one which completed here, and we have been watching this particular area, and we managed to take few short positions around here. So now what the market has been doing, the month so far has been kind of like indecision. Right now it is creating a spindle kind of candle here, which is showing indecision in the market. At some point in time previous week it actually went and turned into a little bit of bullish spindle. Now it has turned back into a bearish spindle, which is basically saying that the market is indecisive at the moment. However, even if the market actually stays like this, there are heavy chances that market may start to go back down next month. Or if it creates a like hammer kind of candle, then also we have chances of next month to create another bearish candle. So what we can do right now is, if I go to the weekly time frame, what we see that market created this huge candle, which is like it's not a pin bar, it's kind of indecision because you have to read it in the context of the previous candles. So we had enough bullish momentum, then we had kind of like a correction, then market went all the way back to this level, and then it started to fall down. Now, just by looking at these candles, just 3 4 candles that we have, there are two possibilities right now. One is that the market may start to go a little bit higher and create a bull candle here next week. So that's a possibility, and if that happens, then monthly time frame may finish like as an indecision or a bullish spindle. So that's a possibility. Other possibility is that market may actually come down to fill this entire wick, because this wick has not been filled, and it may come down to fill this entire level back to this previous low. And if that low is broken, then we are looking for something else. We'll see that in a second, but this is what we can expect. So at the moment it is kind of indecisive in the process. And we'll also have to look at other factors like maybe dxy. The dxy may actually have a chance to go down, and if it starts to do that, then it can start to rise. And dxy at the moment is doing the similar kind of thing. If I show you what dxy is doing, it's also creating the similar kind of indecision candle, and that is why we also have the similar kind of behavior happening on gold. So what we need to do is just wait and watch next week, because next week is going to be very important. This is going to be month end, and by the looks of it, by the formations here on gold, even on euro usd and dxy, this means like market is trying to find where it wants to go. So we'll have to just wait and watch. But what we can see here is, if I bring in original analysis, we were actually looking for a short position here, and then we were able to take that short position, and then we were able to add to that short position around here, and where the market actually fell down. However, last week I was expecting market to come all the way to this level of 2028, and if the market had come there, then I could have actually gone for a short, because we had very good patterns lining up. That did not happen. It actually fell before that, and that's kind of like the thing, one of the things that I actually missed in there. And the reason behind that is that we had another pattern on there. So let me actually walk you through that. So instead of going for this pattern that we had completing there, or instead of having this pattern completing almost right there, it actually completed another pattern which I missed in my analysis, and that is this one. This completes right at that fib level, and it fell right from that fib of 78.6 right there. And because it has been falling since then, it has reached its profit target of 61.8, and there it has started to find its support. Now all the things line up nicely in the market if you read it properly. So let's look at what has been happening. You see that the market has come to 200 moving average, went up, and then market it came down to 200 moving average once again, and then started to move higher. Now what we can do is we can just get rid of this pattern, and I want your attention on this pattern that is developing right now. So we have a pattern going like this, a bigger W pattern, which can actually take us back into this zone or even a little bit higher than that as well. So let me clean this up a little bit. I'm going to leave these levels in there because these are still important. So the pattern that may develop, at the moment it has not developed, but it may develop, is something like this. It will, if I just draw something like this, okay, yeah. So one pattern is going to be right there where we were looking for, like in a 2028 again, and for that it needs to break through this level, the midpoint, and then it will come to 2028. So that's one pattern that we have. Another one that we have is starting from this, and that can take us all the way to 2100. So these are two possibilities that we have on the bullish side. So the market may actually do that, but for that to happen it needs to go through these levels, it needs to go through this level as well now. So we have another level to watch out for. However, on the bearish side of things, we also have something lining up. So let me clean this up a little bit and go to the daily time frame. Let me draw your attention to another pattern which has been developing. We see that there is an M pattern forming, and that means that if the market starts to move down, it will probably come back to 1861. Here it can do something like this. It may go a little bit higher before it starts to come down and look at 1840, and if that is broken then it can come down all the way to 1726. So that's a possibility right now, and this is in accordance with the bigger W pattern that we have. So that's also a possibility. So another possibility that we discussed is around here, and then from this level it can go all the way. So this is what we have. This arrow that we have, that can come down, it can bring it down completely. If that does not hold, if it starts to move higher, then we can say that it can safely go to 2100, and which is still around our zone. And if that happens, then we are going to take another short position, because at that point in time we'll have this W pattern completion in there. So let's see how it actually plays out in the market next week. And this is my analysis on gold. Make sure that you watch previous week's analysis for complete in-depth scenarios and how did we come across these levels. And that should give you a fair amount of idea. But if you enjoyed this analysis, if you found this useful, educational, hit the like button. In the comments section, let me know what you think about this analysis and what is your opinion. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.